Hi everyone, I'm here again with another Canva tutorial. My name is Lauren and I am a graphic designer and a writer. The tutorial we are doing today is for a magazine cover. It's for the book Some Kind of Forever by Layna James. Layna asked me to create the magazine cover for her as part of her promotion for her book. It's a romance novel, slow burn, and she already has the cover and she had been doing quite a lot of promotion at the time already, and this was just another thing that she wanted to use. We already have the cover art for the book, so I'm going to use that as a reference for the magazine itself. Canva has quite a big range of templates. I have a pro account, and so I have access to all the images, videos, elements, templates that are on the paid account. So what I did was I found a magazine template that I thought would work best. Now you'll see I'm going to change it pretty much completely. But I like the layouts, I like the fonts, and I like the way that they use the different types of fonts all together. So before you start the actual design, you'll need to do a little bit of homework. When Layna asked me to do this, we brainstormed some ideas of how it would best reflect her book and be a cute promotional item as well. So I asked if she could give me the name of the magazine based on the themes of the book, and then also for the magazine articles that you can see here that I will rename as I design it, it's all themes in the book as well as some fun tropes that everyone enjoys in the romance community. So Layna went away and she then sent me a few options of what can be included. I also asked Layna to send me the artwork for the book cover and for her characters. She had cute faceless cartoons drawn of her characters, and I'm going to show you how I worked on it originally with the faceless cartoon, and then we later switched it out for a model. In Uploads, I imported the graphics that Layna had sent me, and that was going to be the starting point for the work. So on the first page, I had created the template. I created a second page, and that's where I pasted all the graphic elements that I was then going to work with. As you can see, it's a beautiful cover with floral elements in it, and mostly pinks with some touches of gold. And these are the colors that I was going to draw from. In this tutorial, I want to give you some stylistic tips and shortcuts that I have found in Canva that have saved me a lot of time. If you go to the Design tab on the top left and you scroll down, you'll see that it creates the image palette for you automatically by pulling the main colors out of each image. And that is very helpful as a shortcut for you to be able to find the colors that you need. Here's another tip that's very helpful. I'm going to show you how to get individual elements out of an existing image. So I've taken the existing image of the book cover and made it the size of the full canvas. Then I went to Edit Image and Image Grab. You'll see that once you are on that dialog page, you have two options. One is to use a brush or one is to click. The brush allows you to brush over a certain area and it selects whatever's there. Click automatically finds elements in the page. So that's the option I chose, and you can see that it found the flowers that were in the background of the book. Once all of them are selected with the purple overlay, you select Grab, and then it creates it as a separate image with everything removed except the elements that you have selected. And there you can see as I'm moving it around, it's a single image with just the flowers. Then I changed the background to a plain pink color, and I'm going to build the background of the magazine so that I can put the model's image on it. I just had to adjust the size a little bit because it still picked out some of the author's name, and so I made it bigger so that it cut off anything other than the images. Something else I'm going to be covering over the next few tutorials are simple design principles that I think are very useful. So it's not only about the technical skill and it's not only about using the correct images or fonts, it's also about composition and placement. What you would have seen is that I flipped the image upside down, and then I flipped it horizontally as well so that it was mirrored. The reason I did that is if you look at the screen, the word magazine at the top is quite heavy from a visual perspective. Even though it's a light color, it has weight to it. The flowers at the top were also bulkier in the sense that they were bigger and the color was more saturated. After that, I worked on the background color. Having a flat background color on its own would have been too harsh and too stark. So I decided to do a gradient. To do a gradient in Canva, you select the background, which is essentially a shape, and you'll see that it brings up the options for the color palette at the top. You select the color, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that there are gradient options. If you click on the gradient option on the color selector, you will see that it brings two color options for you. I selected a brighter pink and a slightly paler pink. Then you can select the shape that you wanted to make. So is it a gradient that goes in a circular shape from the center out, or is it a linear gradient that goes from left to right? I chose a circular one where the lighter color was in the middle, and then it fades to a darker gradient out on the edges in a circular shape. As I mentioned earlier, I used the cartoon from Layna's character art for the cover model originally, and then I changed that out to another photograph of a model that Layna found that matched her character design. So you'll see that I work on the text with the cartoon first, and then I'll show you how I switched out to the model later on. The great thing about using a template as a starting point is that the layout and composition is pretty much done, and you just need to play around with it. The title that Layna chose was Charming Magazine. I changed the main magazine title to Charming, and then I took the M in the same font and the same size so that it could look like some of the letters were behind the hair and some was in front of it. That was what I was doing here. Another thing you can do from the design section of the left-hand panel is to change the font combinations. It has font and color combinations already done, and you can play around with what works for you. For this, there were three main fonts. We had the thicker sans serif font, we had the smaller one with serif, and then the thin font that was sans serif as well. And the three of those we mixed and matched in order to do all the little text elements on the cover. Once I had changed all the text to the article titles that Layna had given me, I worked on the barcode. This is something that makes it look like an authentic magazine cover. You can see that I was playing around with the angle of the barcode and the color. The barcode on this template is a graphic element, and so you are able to change the color. And for the layout and color of this particular cover, it made sense for the barcode to be in white. When I showed Layna the mock-up of the magazine cover, we agreed that it wasn't really working with the cartoon, and I had just chosen a placeholder. So Layna went and found character art on Canva that then better suited the look of her character. So what I did there, I copied and pasted it from the link that she sent me, and I went to background remover, which is the most magic tool in Canva. And for any designer who has had to deep etch anything, it is just an incredible time-saving tool. Then what I did was I moved it around so that it could fit the composition. Once again, we're trying to balance the composition. So I was moving text around as well as the image to make sure that everything looked balanced left to right. Top to bottom, we were fine because we had already worked that. But now I wanted to make sure that left and right was balanced. Also because she's looking over her shoulder, so I wanted to make sure that we got as much of the actual model in as we could, while still getting the text that was visible and able to be read. After that, I played around with the positioning of the text a little bit, and eventually I came up with the final image, which looks like this. Layna used it to do some promotion on social media, and she also then created a quiz based on the article title. So it was a really great interactive way to use social media for her audience and for her future readers, and to also boost the pre-orders of the book. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you found it helpful. I'm very excited to see if anyone can use this tutorial to make their own magazine cover based on their book. And if you do, please tag me on Threads so that I can see what it looks like, and I'll be able to share it as well. You'll be able to see the link for Layna's book in the comment section of this video. Thank you. Until the next time.